Whitney Webb, an emotional leader for this team, according to Coach Lanier. Running the middle there, Greenwood dug up, and there's Lovell. But ball hit the antenna.
Lovell, who was so good in game 1 with 4 kills, pretty much unstoppable. UNLV has done a nice job to come out. Game 2, make an adjustment. Banks moving to the outside, taking away that line, trying to make Utah hit cross court.
Back court. Ariel Salvo, no block on her coming from the back court. She loves to attack from the back.
Well, and Utah wanted to incorporate this back into their offense. They've gone away from it a little bit, and they felt like it was a good opportunity against UNLV because UNLV does not block out of the back
court. Yeah, and you just watched her find that corner. There, that one coming straight at us. Too sharp that time. And a service ace from Utah. That's Kate Robinson after she got her shoes on and got herself started here. Teams are taking a timeout. So far, Utah just leading by 3 for game 2. The Mountain Cat brings you all the best from this week in the Mountain West. Join Courtney George and Marius Payton for all the highlights, reaction, and analysis from this week's games. The Mountain Cap, Saturday at 10:30 on the Mountain. Well, there you see UNLV coach Allison Keeley trying to find a way. There's a way, she's thinking. I know that there must be a way to get around this Utah team. What would you tell her, Amy?
Well, I think it's so difficult for UNLV because before you know it, Utah has the ability to run 5-6 points, and they're at a point where they can't come back. They've played tough so far in this game, too. They've made adjustments, and they've gotten Utah in trouble at times, but in the end, Utah just continues to roll and to improve their lead.
Some of the Utah fans who came to Vegas for a holiday weekend. Well, you're not leaving, are you? Hey, wait, come back. Wait, where are you going? Probably just getting something to eat. Look at that little buddy. He did not throw up on his shirt. Our producer trying to cause problems with this little cute guy. Robinson serves. And Lori Baird makes them pay for the overpass.
And who knows what kind of swing that was. She's kind of wondering, she went up with 2 hands. Was she going to block it down? Was she going to hit it?
It's her prerogative to change her mind midair. 4-0 run for Utah. And it's ended that time. Michelle Banks from the Rebels finds a hole, drives right through it.
UNLV has done a nice job to come back and get those side outs, get the ball back.
Pass from Webb. Outside, flat from Salvo. And Brittany Lumsden and the Rebels take advantage.
Another tool, Lumsden going down the line against Sydney Anderson, just using her hands out of bounds.
Here's Anderson outside to Salvo. That usually ends that way. Mountain West Conference Setter of the Year, Player of the Year, freshman and sophomore.
Right. It's going to be successful. You can see a nice seam opening for Ariel Salvo, but what I like about Salvo is she hits high regardless of the situation. She can hit hard, but she doesn't have to hit net high.
Dig here, is there any base? Yep, Anderson got it up, just not high enough. Point for the Rebels, they're hanging in this game. They're within 2.
Anderson just getting that up, almost a pancake. It did hit on her arm. The other players for Utah not prepared for that ball.
Rebel serve. Outside, Salvo, no block. This time middle, Dangerfield gets it up. Salvo, 2 block. And big block from UNLV. Miramonte's getting her hands on that.
And UNLV staying very patient. Good defense, getting digs, and then ending that with a Miramonte's block. See Miramonte's in the middle. Sometimes she plays opposite, sometimes she plays middle. Just depends on where coach wants her to play for that rotation.
UNLV out of system. Utah to Salvo. Backcourt attack. This time, Kate Robinson doesn't pass it. That's Alajova. You told us about her at the beginning to keep an eye out for her. She's been pretty quiet.
And Coach Allison Keeley said, you know what, I know that my team is going to play defense. They're a defensive team. I know that's what we're going to do. We have to be able to transition and get the kills off those defensive plays, and that is what they're doing, and that's why they're tied in this game too.
UNLV goes out. Lumsden trying to find a spot. Gets a pancake, it's back up. What's Utah going to do with it? They're going to go to Salvo. And she got the touch off of the Rebels.
You know, we were talking earlier, you look at Ariel Salvo, and she really isn't that much of an intimidating player just to look at, but you watch how she plays. She plays high, she plays dominant, she's able to cut the ball. She is so talented and a complete player.
She's not physically intimidating, as we were talking about, until you're on the other side of the court from her, and then you're like, oh, please don't hurt me, please, please.
Yeah, she just really has such a nice arm swing. She is just so strong.
Service error there from Sydney Anderson. These teams neck and neck in game 2. UNLV finding a way, much more in rhythm in game 2 than they were in game 1. Melody Nua, a setter for UNLV, serving. Back set, Salvo. And a block. Emily too not allowing herself to be used there.
That was a tough play for Lumsden. That ball coming up across her body. She couldn't see the block, but again, UNLV defense keeping them in there.
Salvo serves, using the net a little bit there, going outside now. Single blocker really, but it's Whitney Webb. That's the bad news for the Rebels. Utah has a 3-point lead in game 2. It's only 3 points. Allison Keeley has to be thinking we can come back from that. Problem is Utah won game 1. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 continues after this.
It's all about you at the Dodge Summer Clearance. Giving you the best selection, including our newest vehicles with the most fuel-efficient technologies and the highest crash test ratings we've ever produced. Giving you more ways to save with low financing or cash allowances and the popular Cash for Clunkers program on select models. So stop by the Dodge Summer Clearance. The right choice is here for you. Now get Ram 1500 with $5,500 combined cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months.
The Mountain, your home for Utah sports. Football, basketball, Olympic sports, and more. The Mountain brings you more coverage of your Utes than anyone else.
If it happens in the Mountain West, you'll see it on the Mountain.
The Mountain, Mountain West Sports Network. Marius Payton, Bill Dolman, The Mountain View, presented by Dodge. Friday at 7 on the Mountain.
Hi everybody, I'm Bill Dolman. You're watching The Mountain West Sports Network.
How does one describe mountain sports stats sage Scott Serra? Keeper of the count?
11,021 yards.
Tutor of the totals? Or the man with his finger on the figures?
UNLV. 120 points, March 7th, 2002.
He lives, sleeps, and eats the stats.
A new record! Man, that stings!
The Stat Master.
Hello and welcome to It's a Numbers Game. I'm Scott Serra. You know, it was a close shave.
Scott Serra, the Stat Master. It's a numbers game. Wednesday at 7:30 on The Mountain.
Every one of us knows someone who has been affected by cancer. More than 1.5 million Americans will be diagnosed with cancer this year alone. Each one of them faces new challenges and decisions. I'm Patrick Dempsey, and I know firsthand how dealing with cancer can impact someone's life. My mother is a 2-time ovarian cancer survivor. Our entire family rallied together to support her. One person alone does not beat cancer. That is why I support Breakaway from Cancer, an initiative created to raise awareness about free services and programs for people affected by cancer. Breakaway from Cancer supports the services of 2 nonprofit organizations, the Wellness Community and the National Coalition for Cancer Survivorship, making support, education, and hope available to everyone. These organizations promote quality care and help those touched by cancer take an active role in their recovery and get them the tools they need to live well with and beyond the disease. Don't go through this alone. Visit breakawayfromcancer.com and connect to a variety of free services and programs.
It's about passion.
energy and emotion aspiring to greatness. The will to win captured in a moment.
It's about spirit, the undeniable force that rises within. At its center, the heart of a champion.
It's about individuals united. Competition and camaraderie as one. Fans and teams banded together.
It's the reason they play the game and the reason we watch.
The Mountain,
where the West is one.
Part of the stigma is that people think if I ask for help that I'm showing weakness, whereas I think it's just the opposite.
You have to be ready to tell your story, but this generation seems to want to talk about it, and it's very therapeutic, so everybody should be given a chance to tell their story.
We're taught from day one, recruit, train, and take care of each other, no matter what the condition is. It all comes back to, it takes real strength to swallow your pride and to say, I need help, and to go actually get the help.
Oh, stand up and dance. For Pete's sake, we're all working hard here, but at least they're in rhythm with each other. Some fans of Utah there, well, they're having a good time. Boy, everybody's slow on this. Slow music playing. Nice bow in your hair there. Rooting for Utah. Utah won game one under the head coach Beth Lanier. 17th season for the Utes. Right now, they're leading game two, 15-12. Salvo serves. Back set. She went as hard as she could and broke through Catherine Lovell's hands.
Well, and Jada Walker, libero for UNLV, a perfect pass every single time. When you can get that pass up to the net, that means you have every option. And since UNLV runs a 6-2, they always have 3 hitters in the front row, a lot of choices.
And this time Utah goes outside to Lovell. And they respond with Alajova. She gets it off of Utah. UNLV within 1. Game 2. Maria Alajova, fairly quiet. We've talked about her coming in. You can bet that Utah talked about her coming in too.
Definitely. She had a great match against them last time. They played 20 kills. She really gave them some trouble on the outside.
Whitney Webb cranked the ball, caught the line, and a point for Utah.
Wow, what a swing from Webb. Look at that, down the line, straight down.
Jada Walker was right there. Nearly hit her foot, but it was so fast. Sydney Anderson, man, is she good digging that ball up. Middle. And here's the middle again. Sydney Anderson passes, so Webb sets. Levels a little trap there, uses her left hand. Alajova lets loose on it. Problem is, it's out. Utah point.
I think both these teams were anticipating a long match, not a lot of first ball kills. Transition points are really going to be the key for both these teams.
When we talked with Coach Beth Lanier before the match about, what are you looking for from UNLV? What's going to be difficult for you? We talked for a bit about a bunch of different things. And then as she walked away, she said, oh yeah. And their defense, the way that they dig the ball over and over again, something this team was looking for, expecting.
There you go, right there. Perfect example.
Yep. Digging these hits that a lot of times end the rally. Lovell this time going up and attacking the ball. Up, and the backcourt setter there above the net. So, Utah ball. Utah leading game 2 by 3 points.
It's a very, very different match. Game 1, UNLV only scored 14 the entire game. They're right in this one.
Sydney Anderson blocking. Now they're going to run the middle. And this time, Lori Baird lets it come down in front of her. Erin Greenwood gets the kill for UNLV.
Greenwood working hard, breathing heavy there. She didn't even have much time on that transition play to get an approach, but it was good. She just turned, made herself available to the setter, was able to get that kill.
Webb. And there's Lori Baird. Lori Baird behind. They really like, as you were talking about, to run that offense, spread it out pin to pin.
Definitely, and Baird runs that so fast. You can see she was already in her approach by the time Anderson even had the ball. And Alajova, that's a bit of a mismatch. Alajova's only 5'11", so it's a really nice for BYU to keep running behind the setter.
Wow, there it is again. But that's what we were talking about, that defense of the Rebels. Anderson out, gets the one-on-one for Ariel Salvo. Boy, that's so tough for a middle blocker to get out there.
Oh, such a beautiful swing. Any seam whatsoever. And it's not just that she kills the ball, but she puts it down. There is no defender anywhere near. And Jada Walker is a great defender. She can read the ball well, but Salvo just too good.
Allison Keeley taking a couple of seconds, minute, to talk to her team. Try to find a way out of it. She looks a little shocked at the moment right now, the expression on her face.
Well, it's frustrating probably for her to have her team stick with Utah this entire game, and then as Utah approaches 20, they just keep expanding their lead up to 4 points. It's hard enough to come back against a team when they get in the 20s at 4 points, but against a team like Utah, it's virtually impossible.
The Mountain West men head to Albuquerque Tuesday when New Mexico hosts in-state rivals New Mexico State. The Lobos are looking for revenge after a tough loss last year to the Aggies. Live basketball coverage tips off Tuesday at 7, right here on the mountain. These fans here, depends on which side you prefer. UNLV, she's very somber. Looking at this team, Daddy, is this good? I don't think it is. Honey, we're down by 4, game 2. There's the future opponent, Colorado State, just looking to see who they're going to be playing. Jamie Strauss there in the middle, playing out of her mind in this tournament. Playing so well. She's looking to see Utah or UNLV, doesn't matter to them. They know they're in the finals. They desperately want that automatic bid. That's what these teams are playing for. An automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Utah already going to be in the NCAA tournament. They're ranked 9th in the country. Colorado State, not ranked. They really want to get into that tournament with a win in the finals tomorrow.
Right, Colorado State on the bubble, UNLV on the bubble.
Ariel Salvo, that time, takes a lot off of it and just does a nice little shot. That's one of the great signs of a player, is her maturity there in order to take a little off of it.
Well, it's very difficult to go up and to be able to make a decision quickly while you're in the air, look at the defense, and change where you hit. She saw the line was open. It didn't take much. She just chops it down the line.
Coaching. And they say it's in there. So Brittany Lumsden again finds that deep line shot, working for her so far today.
That was a great turn from Lumsden. She kind of does the same thing. Took a little off it, put it right down the line.
Dangerfield pass, Toon powers through the block. You see Jada Walker there. Excellent libero for the Rebels. Wanting to pass this ball. But they go at Lumsden. And she goes up to hit it. And she finds open court.
You know, an adjustment that UNLV definitely made between games 1 and 2 is their passing has drastically improved. And they've really been able to run their offense in game 2, siding out at a higher level, and have cut down their unforced errors.
You're saying it's an adjustment they made from 1 to 2. How do you make that adjustment? Is there a way to inspire it in your team?
Well, I think they are now passing with 3, where they were passing with 2 in game 1. Maybe that has made an adjustment that they can move, especially on the top spin jump serve. You really want to have more people back there because it's tough to move to the side because you've got such high velocity, especially from Salvo.
Jada Walker goes up on that, puts it over though. Emily Toon. And now Lumsden. They go back, and that's Ariel Salvo, and they dig her again. UNLV playing some fantastic defense. This is a Utah point, but UNLV within 3. You're right, Amy. A totally different game in game 2 than in game 1. Salvo serves for Utah. UNLV goes to the middle. Miramonte sees the triple block, but pushes it a little too long. Point for Utah. You don't want to let them get any further away at this point. What do you tell UNLV? Service error.
Yeah, that's what you tell them.
Yeah.
Try to get Ariel Salvo to miss her serve because she is such an incredible server. It's tough to get a 3-option pass off that tough jump serve.
Dangerfield pass. And Toon. What went wrong there?
Well, I think that's the difficult thing for Sydney Anderson. You've got a tall middle. And Emily Toon, she's 6'7", so it's tough for Anderson to be able to get it quick and high at the same time. And that ball just way too low for the 6'7" Toon.
You want to use all that height that Toon has, huh? There you go. Catherine Lovell finds some space. Gets a point for Utah. Connie Dangerfield back to serve for the Utes. The Rebels within 2. Miramontes right at Anderson. Lovell close to the net. Boy, she got that over. Just trying to find a space at this point. Anderson goes outside. Lovell unloads on it. Point Utah.
What a swing. That one got Beth Lanier out of her seat. A great swing from Lovell on the outside. You know, Utah had 4 players all conference. Lovell wasn't even one of them, and she is just out of her head.
There's Webb. That time, an attack error from Whitney Webb. One of those Utah players you mentioned who's all conference, along with Ariel Salvo. We talked about Player of the Year, Baird, and Emily Toon. 2 juniors, 2 sophomores for Utah on that all-conference team. And there's Webb again. Whitney Webb out of Gilbert, Arizona. This team, 3 points from 30 here to take game 2 and go into the break up 2-0. UNLV trailing by just 3. Oh, not the pass at all. They needed an ace serve there for Whitney Webb and Utah.
That's a tough play. It looks like Lumsden couldn't decide if that ball was out or not. Couldn't quite commit, so she kind of half passed it. Never want to either go or don't.
No. Webb goes right back at her. There's the middle, Greenwood. And they're calling a touch on it. The line judge said he saw a touch, so point UNLV. It is game point for Utah. No, we're going to take that back. It is 25-28.
UNLV does something so interesting out of transition. They have their middles run 2s, which is Greenwood was able to get a kill off that ball, but something you don't see very often.
Lori Baird. Lovell going high for hands, and she gets them. Point to Utah. This is game point for game number 2 for Utah. Kate Robinson serves. Serves tough. And here's the attack. It's a triple block. Robinson, nice dig. Sydney Anderson's able to put it up to Ariel Salvo. Outside again. Kate Robinson. Middle, Greenwood, and Robinson again getting a workout in the back. Lori Baird goes and gets a touch, and game 2 goes to Utah.